been a little bit. Welcome back to Medina County, Texas GMRS. Got a few updates for you on our React team, some issues I've had with some B-Tech equipment. Want to talk about their customer service and just get you updated on what's been going on. Do have a couple of radio reviews that we're gonna put out here, hopefully within the next 24 hours. But just had to come and say hi. I've been very busy and I'll show you why. Welcome back. So, not in the order I just described. Here are a few of the things that have been going on. I got two new radios here. Some of you may have seen these. This one is sold under a couple of different names. This one is the Secu. It is the UV K5. So this is kind of this company's answer to, I guess, the UV5R. It's little. I'll turn it on. Like I said, I'm not doing a review right now, but I'll have one up here hopefully later today. I got a lot of catching up to do, but that's one that's coming. Dual band, just like the UV5R, but this one allows you to listen to other bands. The interesting part about this one is you can listen to air bands if you're into that. Cannot transmit on them, but you can listen to air bands. They say it's a full 5 watts on GMRS, so we'll see. So that's that one. And then Kid Radio did send me their kind of answer to the UV5R. I think this one's been around a little bit, but they have them on sale. This is their TDH5. It is I'm going to say this, and I could be wrong. It could be GMRS only. I've been playing with it. I got it all programmed up, but once again, I'm not doing the video now, so I don't remember off the top of my head. But this is kind of their answer to it. 28 bucks, maybe. I can get you a discount code for it. The Secu is under $30, if I'm not mistaken. So should we put them head to head, right, and bring in a UV5R? I don't know. I can already tell you, this one for the price already has a lot more features. But this one is a little more simple to use, so keep that in mind. Anyways, so those are coming up. Some of you have been asking, where have you been? Well, let me get a sip of Joe. Good stuff. Been busy with React. I know I mentioned that in a video maybe 6-8 weeks ago, that we've started a React team here in Medina County. So just let me move over. This is just some of the training that we have been doing. For any of you volunteer firemen, police officers, you're probably, any type of emergency management, you're probably familiar with the ICS and NIMS system, or systems. We've been having to learn about that. So for those of you who don't know, and there's some controversy out there with ex-React members, React is a organization, Radio Emergency Associated Communication Teams. So it's a radio club, right? Our form of communication is the GMRS tower. We know we have countywide service. And we wanted to help our local community, government, agencies, in anything they might need. So in doing so, you have to form a nonprofit organization, and then you get to be under React International, the main organization. It's out of California. Don't say nothing. They're good guys. So you have to form the nonprofit organization, have to open a bank account, you have to elect officers, a lot of things go into it. Once you're established, though, that process probably took us about 3 months. Once you're established, you got to start training, right? You got to know where you fit in. What void will you be filling with your team, right? And so we did all the stuff to formed the group. We have all started all the training. Just within the last week, we felt comfortable enough to go and present ourselves to the Medina County Office of Emergency Management Coordinator. Super great guy. Thought I was going to have a 30-minute meeting with him. We ended up talking for an hour and a half. I told him I'm sorry for wasting all of your morning, but a lot of good things came out of it, and you know, he got to understand what we can do or what we're capable of doing, but then also gave us some information to where we can start building our training. You know, and all this training, sitting there reading all these books, if I could read them all in a day, it really doesn't do any good until you're able to put them to use in a real life situation or a simulated practice, right? So those are a lot of the things that we're going to be doing as well. Super fun. You have to be devoted to it, right? It's not something you just say, hey, we're going to do it, and then walk off into the shadows. We really want to help our community. Any of you who are familiar with Medina County or ever drive through it, it's growing, and it's growing fast. And like any other governmental organization, the resources don't always come as fast as you need them to. And we told him, you know, we understand we're not firemen, we're not policemen, we're not EMS, but wherever you can use us in the event of an emergency or even planned event, we want to help. So for those of you who are familiar with ICS, of course, you have to do these are the classes through FEMA that you have to take. It's the 100, 200, 700, and 800. There's 4 of us out of the group that were invited to the Medina County training facility to take the G300 class, which this is where you're going to take everything you've learned in the 100, 200, 700, 800. It ties together, and you learn how to write action plans, and it really kind of starts congealing all of that for the next steps, right? So, and then there are classes after that he said that we might be invited to and that we can take. A lot of us have already been through the Skywarn class through the National Weather Service. If you are interested in becoming a storm spotter, look into your local area and get yourself into one of the National Weather Service Skywarn classes. We are all fixing to be going through the CERT basic training class. There were a few modules in that stack that talks about CERT, introduction to CERT, but in order to be CERT certified, you have to go through the basic training, and I think it's a multi-day. There's basic fire suppression, basic light search and rescue. There's going to be some first aid, and a whole lot of other things. From my understanding, CERT was designed back in the California earthquakes when you saw the pictures of the bridges that had collapsed on top of each other, and these agencies need the public's help, volunteers' help, train people's help when it comes to disasters like that, right? And you know, we have a group right now of 9 of us who are wanting to help, and it's all ages, it's all genders, all ages that can do this. They you know, that's what it's all about. If you want to help, there's a place for you to help. So that's why I've been so busy. But I'm on vacation this week, so my thing, vacation day one, is to get 3 videos out for you guys, because I feel like I've been slacking and hadn't really put anything on there. So my apologies. So if you have questions about React or any of that, and to be honest, if you don't want to start your own organization, see if there's one already in existence around you, and if you're not wanting to start one, or if there's not one near you, a lot of it can be sponsored by Office of Emergency Management. It can be sponsored by fire departments, police departments, but CERT is still kind of a big deal in a lot of areas. Bexar County has a CERT group that they sponsor, and hopefully we'll be able to get sponsored out here by one of the organization, or excuse me, one of the government agencies, and that will be something we have tucked under our wing as well. So pretty cool stuff. And you know, I meant to say this a minute ago, and I got 8 million thoughts going through my head, but React was formed back in the 60s when CBs were big in people's cars, and they would monitor frequencies in the event somebody needed help. It was a big thing back then. Well, of course, there aren't CBs anymore. There's one sitting over on that shelf over there, but you know, so it's evolved to GMRS, to amateur radio, a whole bunch of aspects. And there's a group similar here in Medina County, and we all everybody in our group know them very well. The ham group has their Aries and Races group, and you know, a lot of our guys don't have ham radio license. Several of the guys, 3 of the guys, have their GMRS and ham. Excuse me. So, you know, they can communicate back and forth in the event we're needed. But we plan on working together, right? All the sad ham crap, I'm sure it exists. I can tell you though, and I've talked about this in videos before, the ham guys out in this area are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. They're informative. They don't throw it on you. None of the stories I have heard, and it's just a great organization, and we want to partner with them, right? I mean, a lot of our guys can't do what they do because we don't have our ham license, but this fills the gap for folks who want to help, who don't have a ham license, who can go in and get a GMRS license. It gives us a way to help as well. So that's it about the React. If you have questions, email me. I try to respond to every comment that's left, and you know, ask away. For those of you who've ever commented, you know that I try to respond to everybody. I guess I'll tell you this story. I wasn't going to tell you this story, and my granddaughter's young enough not to watch it for many years, but it's actually kind of funny. So Dave, I've mentioned his name before. He came over to the house a few weeks ago, and he sold me a radio, and he's like, here, you can have a bunch of antennas. So he gave me a bunch of antennas with the radio, and I had my granddaughter over, and she was sitting on the island of the counter, and she was playing with this antenna, and she didn't mean to, but she turned, and the antenna kind of went over my glasses and just caught the top of my eye. My eyelid, my eye wasn't open. I blinked, and it hurt a little bit. I mean, a bee sting would hurt worse, right? So I've always hated these antennas. All right, because I was like, I'm gonna slap myself in the eye with this damn thing. The little bit of pain went away, and 2 days later, I woke up in the morning and my eye was red. It wasn't glossy. It hurt. So, and I had mentioned something was wrong with my eye, and I figured I had an infection. I knew it wasn't pink eye, but I didn't think about this. So, it was about 6 weeks that doctor appointment, putting some drops in that totally numb your eye, and steroid drops, and I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. So they finally sent me to a specialist for the specialist, and she looked at my eye and this and that, and she goes, so when did you get hit in the eye? When did you have trauma to your eye? And I'm thinking, like, somebody punched me. I'm like, I haven't. She said, you haven't had anything hit your eye. And I said, well, about 6 weeks ago, whatever it was, I said, you know, my granddaughter kind of, I was kind of looking down, and it caught me somehow like that. And she goes, that was it. She goes, I can see tissue, you know, inflamed tissue in your eye. They said I had uveitis, iritis. My pupil had gone out around, all from this antenna. And so I am not a fan of these. I never really was, but now I'm really not a fan. I'll never blame it on my granddaughter, because wasn't her fault. I mean, it was an accident. So Delilah, if you're watching this, Papa still loves you. All right, so there's a story on my eye. I wasn't going to tell it because I don't want her ever thinking that it was her fault. Right? It was an accident. But watch these antennas. Wear safety goggles. All right, so there's that. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you all about. Oh, geez. I have two really expensive radios. I do this channel to kind of review the inexpensive radios for guys who, you know, don't have $500 or whatever to spend on radios, because I won't. I mean, I have, but it's for the React team. If it weren't for the React team, I would stick with, you know, the more inexpensive stuff. But, and I'm not even saying this isn't reliable, but listen to this story and it kind of proves my point. So I have the GMRS Pro, the BTEC GMRS Pro, and I keep that one in the vehicle because it's USB charging. You can program it straight from your phone. It's my favorite travel radio. We were doing our April React meeting, and we had some severe weather coming this way, and I was like, you know what? I was setting up for the meeting, and we had it out at the Hondo Airport, and I said, you know what? Let me go grab my G Pro. That's short for BTEC GMRS Pro. Let me go grab the G Pro because it has the NOAA alert on it, right? And so I went out and got it, and went to turn it on. It wouldn't come on. Plugged it into a charger. A yellow light came on. I had never seen a yellow light on the charge indicator. It's either green or it's red, but in this case it was yellow. And I was thinking, well, maybe I accidentally turned it all the way on and I drained the battery, you know. So I get it. I ended up putting it back in the car, finished setting up for the meeting, and the next day I started researching it, and the battery was toasted, fried, it gone. They said if you get a yellow light, no dice. I've had the radio maybe 8 or 9 months, and I don't use it often. I always charge it on the first of every month. All the radios, the first of every month, I make sure they have a charge, and you know, just don't want the batteries to drain out. So I emailed BTEC, and I don't remember where I bought the radio, but they said, well, we need your original receipt. And I didn't buy it from Amazon. I probably bought it direct from BTEC. I didn't know how I would get the receipt. So I went and looked, and sure enough, it was easier and cheaper for me just to buy new batteries. So they were $23 a piece. I did go to Dave's BTEC G Pro owners group on Facebook, and a lot of guys said that this had been an issue. Oh, just got a pop-up. Risk of severe weather in your area today. I would recommend for $23 to have 1 or 2 G Pro batteries on standby. So I bought 2. Well, I have it upside down. I bought 2. One's on the radio, and I'm keeping one out here in the shack for backup. But that was kind of disappointing. And I'm sure they would have replaced it if I would have wanted to spend the time to find a receipt. But I didn't. So keep some of those on standby. So I had bought, oh, this thing's heavy. I know it's not GMRS, but I only program GMRS frequencies if that matters. I bought this for my vehicle. It is the BTEC UV50X3, 50 watts, remote head. This tucks under the seat. I had this in my car not even 4 weeks. Bought it brand new. This thing's about $500, and that's not something I would normally spend, but I figured let me buy quality, and you know, definitely the features on it I like. I said, so let me for React, let me get a good radio. It's in the car for 4 weeks, and I was talking on it the night of the meeting, the storms, and I got this horrible electrical burning smell in the vehicle. And I had been talking on this for a long while, and I knew it had to be the radio. So I emailed BTEC. They said mail us just the unit, right? And if we haven't seen anything you did wrong to it or modified it or anything, we'll replace it. So I mailed that off last week, and I mean literally just got this out of the mailbox. And I'm a little disappointed. The process was easy. It took them less than 24 hours to give me a return ticket or whatever they call it. It did cost $30. This is heavy. I don't know if any of y'all have seen this UV50X3, but it's built like a brick shithouse. But I got it today, and look, it's all scratched up. It almost looks like, I mean, I don't know if they gave me a refurb unit. There's no note. There was no anything. So I'm a little curious. And look, on the back, there's like somebody's leftover food stuck down in the crack. So I'm going to test it out. But it just kind of upsets me that I paid for a brand new radio, but yet I'm going to get something that may not be brand new. So B-Tech, I'll be calling you. I hope you're able to make this right. But a little disappointed. We'll see how it works. If you've had any experiences with B-Tech, put them in the comments below. I'm curious. Just a little. My two most expensive radios have both taken a crap, is what I'm saying. All these other radios, well, let's see. Do I even still have it? Oh, do I? Nope, I don't have it. All these cheap radios, I've had one UV5R crash. That's it. Out of all, y'all hadn't even seen all of them, but it kind of says something. And listen, B-Tech, I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but I just expected better. So that's kind of my story, kind of what I've been doing. I missed all the comments. I'm hoping to get some from this. I love hearing from you guys, and so just had to give you an update. I felt like I owed it to you, and just wanted to say hi. Tell me about what you've been doing or you got going on with GMRS with you in the comments below. You're always welcome to email me. Join us on our Facebook Medina County, Texas GMRS group. I think we're up to about 150 members, which is totally awesome. We've still been meeting for breakfast every Sunday. Got guys from San Antonio coming in and Uvalde, and so it's a really, really good time. So nice seeing y'all. Hope you've been okay. I'll have 2 more videos out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate everything. See ya. Bye.